Hello, my name is Duncan McDonald, and I'm an occupational health specialist. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me. It was my pleasure to conduct a hazard analysis at the University of New England Mechanic Shop. Hazards for potential physical or psychosocial injury were examined with the goal of enhancing employee health and reducing missed workdays due to illness and injury. This report includes a site analysis consisting of in-person employee interviews and an observation of a typical workday. The hazards identified during our hazard analysis include heavy lifting, exposure to loud noises, chemical exposures, and repetitive movements. I will briefly describe each of the following hazards along with our recommendations on how these can be prevented. Please feel free to ask questions throughout this presentation or refer to the hazard analysis packet I have provided each of you for more information on any particular topic. The mechanics of the shop frequently lift heavy objects such as tires over the course of their daily activities. Back injuries are the most common occupational disability experienced among employees and has resulted in 10 lost days of work over the past 5 years. Based on the company's records of workplace injuries, implementing interventions to prevent back injuries is the most pressing need for promoting occupational health. Our recommendation is to include both administrative and engineering controls to mitigate the levels of back injuries experienced by the mechanics, a combination of purchasing mechanical lifts to move heavy equipment which would remove the need to pick them up by hand, and ergonomics training to teach employees how to properly perform lifts, as well as how to operate the equipment, would be an effective means of reducing musculoskeletal disorders, especially those of the lower back. Ergonomics training should include postural awareness, stabilization, proper lifting techniques, and the importance of exercise for musculoskeletal health. The training should be conducted in weekly sessions over the course of 4 months to ensure retention of the knowledge. Noise in the repair shop varies widely over the course of the day. Therefore, the need for personal protective equipment, or PPE, varies. Noise within the shop was between 60 and 80 decibels while not using power tools, and above 90 decibels while using power tools. Ear protection is necessary while using tools, or if the noise level in the shop raises above 90 decibels. Personal protective equipment was observed for employees directly operating tools exceeding 90 decibels in volume, but PPE was removed when equipment was not in use. With 15 full-time employees in the mechanic shop, all employees in proximity to the use of these tools may not be protected. Dosimeters should be introduced to the employees to monitor noise exposure for workers in close proximity to these tools. These instruments can be carried in the mechanic's pockets throughout their shift and can produce a report of decibel levels. This will inform the mechanics if ear protection is necessary for anyone in the shop while using power tools, or how frequently PPE should be worn. Also, warning signs should be placed throughout the shop to remind mechanics of the impact of noise exposure can have on their hearing and when PPE should be worn. This would help increase awareness of PPE use and ensure workers in close proximity to these noises are protected. Chemicals in the shop were noted as sitting on shelves and on the toolbox, which was next to commonly used tools and personal protective equipment. Proper storage of chemicals is highly recommended. Neglect of proper storage of chemicals can lead to contamination of tools and PPE that is being stored near these chemicals. This can lead to exposure of the mechanics. Proper storage cabinets were seen in the mechanic shop, but these chemicals were not always returned to them. Educating employees of the effects of exposure of these harmful chemicals, as well as placing warning signs on tool benches and other surfaces where chemicals are commonly placed, is recommended. The amount of time mechanics spend pinching and gripping their tools, especially in a repetitive or forceful manner, may lead to the development of musculoskeletal disorders. We recommend that vibrating tools should be limited to less than 35 minutes of use per day. Mechanics should also be aware of when they are feeling muscle fatigue while working. If they begin to notice fatigue in their upper limbs, it is recommended that the mechanics take a short break until their muscles are recovered. This can be accomplished by mechanics timing themselves while using power tools, as well as placing reminders throughout the shop to take frequent breaks. Through these recommendations, we believe the University of New England Mechanic Shop would be a safer and healthier place to work for the employees. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on our analysis and report. Please do not hesitate to reach out to myself directly or my team. Thank you again for taking the time to meet with me today, and I wish you all the best.